This is gonna look weird, and I'm sorry, but here are the, darn it. You know what? What is up, guys? I'm kneeshuuh and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a palette comparison between the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palettes and the Juvia's Place. What is this? Today I will be doing a palette comparison between the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette and the Juvia's Place Bronze collection, which includes the Bronze, Rusted, and Blushed Rose palettes, and talking way too much. So if that's something that you're interested in, keep on watching. Hi. So this is the portion of the video where I'm going to go over all of the swatches and what I noticed and what I compared and what I didn't compare. And yeah, I write everything down. If you don't know me, I record on my, I have an itch. If you don't know me, I film and I record on my phone, so I can't really look in like my notes app, so I write down everything. First impressions of the Juvia's Place palettes. I don't like that these shades aren't named, if I'm gonna be honest. I wish there were a mirror too, just putting that out there, but I don't have names for these, so I've written them down as JP Juvia's Place 1 through 6. So let's get into this. I first compared on the Bronze Rustic palette JP1 to nothing. It is too yellow for sandalwood, and that is the lightest nude shade in the Huda Beauty palette, so I just put nope, nothing. The second shade is JP2, which I compared to Maneater. Maneater is deeper, but the Juvia's Place palette has kind of like a subtle gold shift to it, if that makes sense. It isn't a satin where there is like, or one of those Colourpops, are they called satin shades? I don't know. Where they're like pressed glitter into a matte shade. It isn't like that. But whenever I swatched it, I just noticed that there looked to be kind of like a subtle gold shift. The next is JP3, which I compared to #Blessed. JP3 is a more golden shift, while #Blessed is more taupe, which is something that you're gonna find very often in the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. They don't have a lot of like yellow toned shades. It's a lot of more taupey, which I guess makes sense for like roses, but I feel like, in my personal opinion, having things that are more golden to kind of counteract or to kind of contrast, I guess, with the more rosy or mauvey things could have really made this palette stand out, in my opinion. Next is the matte JP4, which I compared to Henna. Henna is darker, but it's still a warm toned, while Cocoa, the other brown, the other more darker brown in the palette, is more of a cool tone and more darker. More darker? That's English. Next is JP5, which I compared to Trust Fund. JP5 is more of like a pink with a gold shift, while Trust Fund is just kind of like a standard copper. I might suggest putting rose gold over it, but I don't really know. I may, sorry, my eye is really burning. But I don't really know. Oh God, my eye, this eye has sensitivity issues, so goodbye that. But next is JP6, which I did compare to Sandalwood. Sandalwood is a little bit warmer, but it still has the same like tones of just being like a warm tone blending brown. Warm tone blending brown. That's interesting. I was surprised how similar JP5 was to Trust Fund. I expected it to pull more pink, but the Rose Gold in Rose Gold Remasters is more of like a brown with a pink shift, where Trust Fund is more brown, but the gold shift is there. JP5 is one of my favorite rose gold shades. I'm having fun here. I prefer more coppery rose gold shades, and a lot of rose gold, especially in this palette, pull more like pink or taupey. Oh God, this eye hates me. I didn't want to zoom through this, but I fear that I have to. I'm sitting on my legs, so I'm a little more higher up. Whoopsie. Next is the Blushed Rose palette. So there is JP keeps calling it JPI, but it's JP1. First is JP1, which I compared to Dollface. Dollface pulls more violet undertones. Next is JP2, which I compared to 24 carats. 24 carats is a true gold as opposed to the pink kind of gold in 2. So JP2 is kind of like an orangey with a like pink shift, whereas 24 carats is just kind of like a standard gold where it's more cool toned. It almost has kind of like a green shift. It isn't a yellow gold. It is just a straight up gold. Next is JP3, which I compared to Risque. Risque is once again more violet and more deep. Next is JP4, which I compared to Pink Diamond. Pink Diamond is a little bit deeper with more of like a taupe shade, and JP4 is definitely more reflective. Next is JP5, which I compared to Demure. Demure actually matches JP1 more, being more rosy than pink, but I'll explain in a minute why I put it where I did. And then next is JP6, which I compared to Henna again because it is a warmer brown shade. I feel this one isn't as comparable as Bronze Rustic is to Henna, but you can see the swatches. You tell me. Tell me in the comments, please. This one I felt was more of a stretch, but I lined up the pink mattes according to light, medium, and deep. So where I felt Demure where I feel Demure matched JP1 more, it was the second darkest, more that middle tone. So that's why I put it where I did, as opposed to being a straight up like dupe. And I'm wearing the pink shades on my eyes now. You can see in just a bit how that worked out if you stick around to the end. Juvia's Place's matte pinks are more rosy than Huda Beauty's, but I wish that Huda Beauty had made her pinks more rosy than violet. You see Dollface, that is a very vibrant pink, and Risque, which pulls more purple. I feel like if you're gonna have like a rose gold and then more taupey shimmers, you need to have more taupey-ish or more rose mattes. I feel like upon further inspection of the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette, I feel like the direction is there, but the application is not. And I mean, it's Huda's brand, it's Huda's palette, so obviously she could do whatever she wanted. But I do wish that there had been more, like, I wish the gold had been more warm, and I wish that like the rose golds had been more coppy. I just feel like the only thing that's really saturated are the pink matte shades, and that's it. And I just, the more I use this palette, the more I regret buying this palette, which I guess is the point of this like little series that I'm doing, is like, here's this and here's what I like more, and you know, just kind of figuring out things for myself and maybe also helping you guys out. But yeah, these are, I don't know why I do this because I never put the overlay over my hand, under me. Yes, I'm working very hard right now with my eye burning. Oh my goodness. But these are the swatches. These are my opinions on the swatches. Based on the eye looks, I do have to say that I prefer the Juvia's Place formula more. I have a couple of palette comparisons like written out in advance, and these are the only Juvia's Place palettes that I've enjoyed, if that makes sense, because I even have the Taupe Mini, which is an upcoming palette comparison, and I just don't like it as much as like the palette that I'm comparing it to. No spoilers, I'm doing better with that. But I really, if it were a tier list, the best Juvia's Place palette that I've ever used would be the Bronze Rustic. I want to use that again. I am like licking my chops wanting to use it again because I did have I really like that palette. Juvia's Place formula hasn't really worked for me in the past. It kind of did with the Blushed Rose, like it worked better than Huda's, but if I were to compare Blushed Rose to Bronze Rustic, I'd always go with Bronze Rustic. I think I used the Zulu palette, which was the first Juvia's Place palette that I ever used, and I borrowed it from a friend, and it didn't work for me. It didn't, or was it a Warrior? I think it was actually a Warrior palette. Can't even be bothered to remember because it just didn't work for me. So I do have to say that I am excited to try more Juvia's Place if they keep up with like this quality as time goes on. But I definitely prefer both of these to the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. Now, do I think that the Bronze Rustic and the Blushed Rose are complete dupes of the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette? No. The tones are pretty different, but I feel like the application on the eyes, it's essentially the same looks. Like, yeah, the red is a little bit more vibrant in one, and the red is a little bit more maroon in the other, but I just feel like for the quality and for the price, Juvia's Place is a step above, because these were $14. This palette is $65. It is 65. And I was thinking the Naughty palette, but that's 67. I've become kind of disillusioned with Huda Beauty's like big palettes. Like, I want to love this palette so much because it was so expensive and because I thought that I would like it a whole lot. For someone that hasn't liked Juvia's Place and kind of has that bias against Juvia's Place from having not liked a lot of her stuff or their stuff, Juvia isn't the owner. From having had one bad experience with Juvia's Place when everyone loved Juvia's Place and just kind of not really being excited about the brand, to being excited about Huda Beauty and thinking that it was a great palette whenever I bought it, to kind of having my whole world flipped upside down when these worked, in my opinion, better for a combined total of less than half the price of a Rose Gold Remastered palette. I guess I say all this to say that I think you would be better off getting more versatile looks and maybe looks that you would like more from the Juvia's Place palette than the Huda Beauty palette. So thank you everybody so much for watching this little portion of the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like these little palette comparisons, and let's get right into the look portion of this. Hello! I once again have no idea what my hair is doing, but what else is new? So for this eye look, because I do intend on doing two, I'm gonna try and use all but one shade, the one shade that I couldn't find a match of, in the Bronzed Rustic palette. I already know that there are some stark differences, but I think once we blend it out, we'll be good. So on the Huda Beauty side, I'm gonna take some of Maneater, stamp that into my crease. That lays down beautifully. It's not too patchy, not too anything. And I'm just gonna call this shade like BR2 because they don't have names on them, which kind of frustrates me, but it's the red palette. They'll also have my little infographic, which, as you can see in the swatches and as you can see right now, is much more of like a true red as opposed to like this maroonish color. Can you hear all the noise that's happening in my apartment? I am so sorry. My neighbors just do whatever they want, no matter what hour it is. And there's a lot of sirens going off because I live by the fire station. I'm gonna blend this side out, taking a little bit of sandalwood. Now, I missed last Friday's upload because I had a pretty stressful week last week. You ever just have one of those weeks where it's like everything is happening? That's kind of what I had. And yeah, I was on Friday morning, I was like, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna film. And then I remembered that if I film too early in the day, that the sun is like right there, and I don't have curtains, and so it kind of just like, it's like this weird like hazy cast over my face. And I just didn't like it. Wow, there's a lot going on. Is there like a fire that I need to evacuate from? Just gonna blend that out on this side with some of BR6. All right, so that's what those two eye looks look like. But yeah, I had a lot going on last week. And I'm sorry, but you know, if I have to skip one in order to stay strong on the next one, that's just what I'll do, you know. I'm gonna try and use every shade that I kind of like highlighted. So here is some of Henna. And then here is some of BR4. This is actually my first time like buying and using Juvia's Place shadows. I've used like one of the, wow, that does not have a lot of pigment on it. Okay. I've used one of their shades before, but I borrowed like a friend's to try it out because we were having like an event at work and I had no Juvia's Place. I didn't like it. I feel like I have like a hair in my lipstick. So as you can see, there's some fallout on both sides, but I'm gonna blend both shades out with a mixture of essentially what the sandalwood and the red shade would have been. But yeah, I haven't really used Juvia's Place palettes, but whenever I saw these, both of them, the bronzed and the blushed, I was like, oh, those are stunning and I need them. So as you can see, this one is more like, it's kind of faded to where it just kind of looks like a warm tone brown. You can definitely still see more of the red in this one. I know my nails are very long and very intense, but we're moving right on along. Do I want to see how these, part of me wants to see how these shades react without cutting the crease, but I know that the Huda shades don't react well to cut creases. Let me just deepen this up a little bit more again. One more layer. That way I feel better about it. All right, there we go. Blend, blend, blend. Here are all the matte shades. Yeah, just give me 1 minute to cut my crease. I'm back. My creases are cut. Nothing too crazy. So on my Huda side, I'm gonna go in with #blessed. Can barely see that. Like, that's something that I've kind of noticed about Huda's shadows, is that they swatch really well. But the second you apply a brush or try and even put them from your finger onto your eye, it just kind of fall apart. And yep, that's a brown shade. I'm gonna go in with BR3. Juvia's Place side. Ooh, that is so much more blinding. Okay. And I did note previously, this has a little bit more gold than this, that just kind of has the brown, but it still just feels smoother. It feels a lot smoother. On my Huda side, I'm going in with Trust Fund. There we go, a couple layers later. Got some shine. And then BR5 on the Juvia's Place side. Now this is a little more pink, but I did make the distinction that this shade, or that Trust Fund, it would be more like a Trust Fund rose gold hybrid. Upon looking at it on like putting it down, I actually feel like there was a shade, I think it was called Angelic in the original palette, that was like a pink gold duochrome that I feel would do this a lot more justice. But, and also it isn't like lighter than that other shade like I thought it was, so it kind of looks weird because it's like pink, brown, red. But I am gonna put some of rose gold on the Huda Beauty side just to see what it does to the eye look and see if it kind of gets it to the same level. Which, yeah, I feel like it will. Okay, so let me blend some of these mattes together, put some stuff on my under eyes, and then I'll be right back. I'm back. Here are the final looks. I got some eyeliner there. Insert cringy anime, I think, Cowboy Bebop quote here. Yeah, you can't really see a difference. Like, it just kind of looks like this one is less saturated than this one, but other than that, it kind of just looks like my eyes in the shadow. Like, it does not matter. I have red eyeliner in my waterline, which always makes me feel like I have crazy eyes, but here's this, don't mind my wing or my twitchy eyes. Both shadows I feel performed equally as well on this. I mean, I do feel like upon like first application, Juvia's place was way more pigmented, while Huda's had to be like built up. Take that as you will. Some people don't like BAM pigment, some people do. I do feel like these are pretty similar eye looks for like a fifth of the price. So we will see how my pink look turns out. So yeah, I actually really like how my hair looks today. Like, it's kind of crazy and this little bit just kind of wants to hang out, but I messed it up. But like, I like it. Okay. I think I look pretty good today. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. See you in the next look. Bye. Hi, don't mind my bare bed. I'm doing laundry right now. And if you can hear my neighbor's music, I am so sorry. I hate them so much and I have to edit their music out of like every video, but sometimes it's louder than others and so it's harder to edit out. So hopefully everything will be good. But now we're going on to the more blushed and pink side, I guess. I literally took notes. I take notes of everything. So I literally took notes of how to do this. So I know I want this to be more rosy. Also, I hate that these don't have like a mirror. It just says like the blush rose like right there. Like, move this like up and then just like cut a hole and just put a mirror in your palettes. Put a mirror in your palettes, come on. I'm gonna go in with what I have called JP5, just because these don't have names. Just rubbing that into my crease. Very pigmented, just pink shade. Can you hear that? That is absolutely ridiculous. Demure, because it's the other lighter pink. Which this looks more rosy. This rose shade matches the other two tones in the blush rose palette, while this more pink shade matches the pinks in here, because this is the only like really rosy pink in this palette, which makes me sad because it's the rose gold palette, and I just feel like more rosy shades would fit better than like Doll Face, which is more of a pink, and Risque, which is more of like a fuchsia, you know? So there are both of those crease shades. So I'm going to deepen up the Juvia's Place side by going in with JP1. That's like a more rosy, almost like a kind of has like an orange-ish undertone as opposed to the straight like pink that's in the crease. Next, I'm gonna go in with Doll Face. It's the next darkest pink over here, and it is just a straight up pink. Just gonna blend both sides out. I've color switched everything off. So this is what the Huda Beauty side looks like right now. I think I switched it. Yep, this was my Juvia's Place side last time. Darn it. Oh well. So, looking at both sides right now, they're both soft. This is more of like a mauve toned pink, and this is more of like a not deep, but like a brighter pink shade, which I'm fine with. So this is JP6, which I compared to Henna. Both palettes had a very warm toned brown. And the deep warm tone brown, there was only one deep warm tone brown in the Huda Beauty side, because Cocoa is just a little bit too cool. Henna again over here, a lot more fallout over here with this one than over here. Just gonna blend this out without any additional product. I think I prefer the Juvia's Place matte formula. At least in this palette, it's very creamy. The Huda Beauty palette is just a little bit more crumbly. And then I'm worried that this is just gonna blend out essentially into nothing. Yeah, kind of. Okay. Well, this gives me an opportunity to test out the purples. So I'm gonna take JP3 over here. It is the more like fuchsia pink. I'm just gonna go right over that brown. Then I'm gonna take Risque over here. It's a little bit more of like a violet, or maybe this would be more fuchsia and this would be more pink. Either way. Blending out again. Let's doing some weird like clinginess right here. Interesting. Before I cut the crease, let's check in with the mattes. So there is some weird like patchiness going on like right here. It isn't really wanting to cling to anything like right here in my outer corner, which kind of sucks because if there's patchiness like more towards the middle, I can always go over it whenever I cut my crease, but whenever it's on the outside, I guess I could cover it up with eyeliner, but I didn't put a tacky base really on either side because I thought one side was going to be more vibrant than the other. I actually thought the Huda Beauty side was going to be more vibrant just because of Dollface, that very, very bright pink, but it's become more subdued. There are only 2 shimmers, so I feel like that's going to be a very unimportant part. Not unimportant, that's going to not take very long, so let me cut my crease and I'll be right back. My neighbor's loud music makes me want to just open palm smack the wall in between us. But I know which area of the city I live in and I don't want to die. So yeah, here I am with my creases cut. I'm going to be going in with the shimmers on the Blushed Rose palette. That way I can use the Huda Beauty side to kind of match to it. Am I off center? God, this happens in like every video. Same with lipstick on my teeth, okay. I have written down in my notes which shimmers I've compared them to, but I may need to finagle a little bit just because like JP2 was kind of more of like a duochrome and Huda Beauty doesn't really have like the duochromes in the way that way, and I just need to put on the makeup and let that explain itself. So here we go. So first I'm gonna lay down JP4, which I had swatched compared to the shade Pink Diamond. Pink Diamond does have more of like a deeper tone and it's a little bit more taupe, so I feel like that's gonna look a little bit darker, but it might not even really matter in the grand scheme of things. But this is also a very crumbly shimmer. There's a lot of fallout, and whenever I brushed it away, I totally left like a little like pink cast right underneath here, so that's fun. And then for my inner corner, I'm going in with JP2, which I swatched and compared to 24 karat, but 24 karat is more of like I should have switched these, oh my god. Hold please. Okay, so what I ended up doing was putting JP2 kind of just all over everything, and then putting some more of JP4 in my inner corner, which you can't really see. What I do to one side, I'm gonna have to do to the other, but, ooh, actually, let me put some of JP2 in my inner corner right there. I said JP4, but I meant JP2. Of course, my neighbors pause their music to argue, so. Or are they? Anyway, there's JP2 in the inner corner, so you can see how like reflective it is. I'm gonna try and match this on this side. This is much more like a peach, like an orange with some pink. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do on this side to make that work. So I'm gonna have to combine and we're gonna have some fun. Taking some of 24 karat. Yeah, that's definitely more of like a true gold where it's like almost green, if that makes sense. Because you know, there's like yellow gold and then like a really true gold. So this is gonna be a challenge. So I put that all over my lid. I don't really know how I'm gonna make it orangey. Maybe I'll go in with a little bit of like actual rose gold over it. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. I'm getting excited and then it's not gonna look like that on the finished product, isn't it? So I'm gonna be honest, this would look amazing, outstanding, and phenomenal if it didn't look absolutely terrible. So let's just go in with Pink Diamond. Like at this point, who's gonna stop me? There's so much fallout in these shimmers. Whew. Juvia's Place, did I say you had the dry shimmer formula? I am so incredibly sorry. Putting 24 karat is the biggest mistake. Such a mistake. Such a mistake. What is that? I keep getting lipstick like right here on the middle of my front teeth and I look like a smoker. Oh, I don't know how to get that like peachy pink. Because I even put some of Trust Fund. I just don't think I'm going to. So I feel like this is where the comparison of this will end. And I am just going to straight up make it look good for my little final thoughts section and whenever I go over my swatches, which you will have seen before this. So, mattes, similar. Shimmers, no. So, with that, I'll be back. Hi, I'm back. I think I got them to be pretty evened out, but this eye hates me. I always have issues with sensitivity with this eye. This eye always waters up. Like don't look at that too hard. But I cannot wait to finish this up and get these out. I just realized I left my cherry clips in my hair, so that's great. But yes, this is the final look after I managed to even everything out. Oh God, these lashes hate me. Okay. After I managed to even everything out. So yeah, I would say that the shimmers, not so much, but the mattes, pretty close. It's difference in tones, really, but yeah, I think this is gonna be the end of the video. I'm gonna record my little spiel that you'll have seen beforehand and take some Instagram pictures and then take this all off my face, but thank you everybody so much for watching. Let me know if you think these are similar, if you think these are not, if you'd like to see any other palette comparisons, like any ideas that you have. God, I can't think of anything over the burning in my eyes. Oh, don't look up, it makes it worse. Okay. I love you all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.